Bet the fucking house on Charles Du Bronx Oliveira. Yeah, that's right. Now, some of y'all might be thinking, but Dr. MMA, what the fuck are you smoking, man? You just made a vid talking about how Ilia vs Charles won't be close with Ilia winning. Yeah, I did, and my pick is still Ilia, but this is a close fight, man. Like, I think a lot of people see this fight as who can catch who first kind of fight. Anyone can win. But guess what? The odds makers have this fight as a fucking 5-1 favorite for Ilia, man. Like, are you serious, dog? That's insanity. Like, although I picked Ilia, I'm very concerned for my pick, man, because, you know, like, it's no secret there's a big size difference between the two. Now, the press conference just took place, and honestly, there wasn't much of a difference, which I'm very surprised how, because Islam and Oliveira are kind of similar heights, and Volk and Ilia are kind of similar heights. So when I saw Volk looking like a fucking midget against Makhachev, I'm like, how is this guy looking almost the same size as Charles? It was a little surprising to me, but I'm guessing maybe it's something to do with the shoes or something. I don't know. So we're gonna just assume that it was the shoes, but he looked pretty big, man. A lot of people are picking Charles because of the size here, but he looked surprisingly big, at least in the face-off. Now look, I think most people see this fight as a who catches who first kind of fight. They see it sort of as a will Ilia be able to catch him first on the feet, or will Oliveira be able to kind of submit him? And most people are predicting this to sort of finish in under 2 rounds. Now the problem for Charles here is that every single round starts on the feet, obviously, and of course that heavily favors Ilia. And I will talk about the striking a little more, but first let's talk about the grappling a little bit, because I do think that's the X factor in this fight. Now, unlike guys like Islam who need to take their opponents to the ground to successfully grapple, Charles can pull up submissions while standing. You know what I mean? Especially against the shorter opponents, significantly shorter, matter of fact, at least from what we expected, but apparently not now. So we're just going to go with shorter. He can get on top of Ilia in some clinch situations and sort of latch something up. Now this is important because I don't think that Charles is going to have much success taking Ilia down. Not only because Ilia has great takedown defense, but also because of how short and stocky he is. It's similar to Volk, man. Like, Islam was struggling to take him down. However, once they are down, that's where Charles will be able to secure a position and just ride out the round, if not a finish. And that's where the long limbs of Oliveira would be an advantage when it comes to the grappling. Anyone who's grappled a bit knows how fucking difficult it is to take someone shorter down. It feels like a brick wall. It just does. So yeah, basically I think this fight is going to be on the feet, unless Ilia, who seems to be unrealistically confident, unless he decides to test his own grappling, sort of like yeah, I'm going to submit him in the first round. That was more for GSP voice, but you get what I mean. And I am concerned about this, man, because although I think Ilia will probably be more in control of the situations, I think he's very good on the ground. I think Charles's finishing ability is just infinitely better than Ilia on the ground, man. Anyways, on the feet, both of them go forward. It's going to be a car crash. Calf kicks are going to be open for Oliveira to land, but he just never throws them, does he? We've barely seen him throw leg kicks in the UFC. I mean, recently at least. I mean, even if he does, they're just above the knees, sort of like thigh kicks. I haven't seen him really throw any calf kicks. So I'm not going to be counting on that happening much in this fight. And everywhere else on the feet, I just think Ilia has the advantage, man. The speed, the power, the precision, all of it. And it's going to land, man. Everyone lands on Oliveira. And he's going to land with power unlike what any of these past opponents of Charles has got. And a big reason why his shots are so effective is because of his speed and his combinations. People don't even see the shots coming. And because of the speed, it just causes more of like a whiplash effect on the head, and that just causes people to go out. Anyways, my point of this whole video, man, was to show that Charles can get him, and in no universe should he be a 5-1 underdog against Ilia. I think maybe it should be a -250, but oh well, don't put money on Ilia, man. Bet something on Charles. You have a 1 in 3 chance here to 5 times your money. Bet the fucking house on him, man. I'm not responsible for any losses though. And bet it like under 2 rounds finish or something by submission. You know what I mean? The odds should be pretty good for that. However, again, I'm not liable. Now let's talk about the other fights here. We got Pantoja, who's basically a 2-1 favorite against Kai Kara-France. Very interesting, you know. Like, I think Kai Kara-France gets this one done. Kai has extremely good takedown defense. He's probably the hardest hitter at flyweight right now. I mean, people don't go around sleeping people at flyweight left, right, and center. You know what I mean? And I just think Pantoja relies on his chin a little too much. Don't get me wrong, it's durable as fuck. One of the best chins in the UFC, but that's partly due to the fact that most flyweights don't really hit that hard. Kara-France does hit hard, but I think Kai's power will win that battle against the durability of Pantoja's chin. I think we could see an early finish within the first 2 rounds. Then we got Brandon Royval taking on Joshua Van. Not gonna lie, I haven't really done any proper film study on this or anything like that, but I'm gonna go with Joshua Van. I think he'll just extend his combinations a little bit more and he'll have success doing so against someone like Royval, but you know, don't take my word for it on the upcoming fights. I really haven't looked much into them. Then we got Dariush versus Moicano. I think Dariush is being underrated at the moment, man, because he is coming off those 2 brutal losses against Sarukian and Oliveira, both by KO. But people forget, man, like, he's really good, man. Dariush is really good. Like, he's a crafty vet, Dariush. You know what I mean? So I think he controls the positions against Money Moik and probably wins 30-27 decision. I mean, Moicano looked very confident in the press conference, but I don't think it's enough to beat someone like Dariush. I think Dariush's levels, I think he's up there, man. I know he got beat by these two, but he's extremely skilled, man. The skill set, you can get caught in a fight, but the skill set, it's in Dariush's favor, and I don't see Moicano knocking Dariush out. So then there's Payton Talbott versus Felipe Lima. I don't know, I'll be honest, I don't know, but I'm gonna go with Felipe. I mean, Talbott made Barcelos look like fucking Chimaev, okay? Let's get that straight. He made Barcelos look like fucking Chimaev. Now, we saw against Garbrandt that he ain't that dominant. Barcelos, that is. I think Talbot could have a slight advantage on the feet, but Felipe will land some good shots off himself. And yeah, if push comes to shove, yeah, he's going to take Talbot down with relative ease, I think. So yeah, I'm going to have to go with Felipe. So to sum it all up, man, let me tell you something, motherfuckers. Let me show you all a fucking insane, realistic parlay for the main card. You know what I mean? The top 5 fights. I got Oliveira by submission in under 2 rounds. Takara fronts by knockout. Joshua Wan just winning anyhow. Dariush by decision. And Felipe just winning. Dude, the odds for this extremely realistic parlay are plus 65,840. Yeah, that's fucking nuts. That's insane numbers. Like, if you don't know, if you bet $10 on this parlay, you will make 6,584 back. Think about that shit for a second. It's basically free. It's $10. Like, now if you bet the house on this parlay, let's talk about that. These are some interesting numbers. So ChatGPT here is telling me that the average American house is around 400k. If you bet 400k on this parlay, you will get $263,760,000. So that's basically more than $250 million. Now, if you take all of that money and put it in another similar parlay like this, you will get $174 billion, which, yeah, it's still significantly less than half of what Elon has. Like, this is just peanuts, you know what I mean? But like, come on, he had to do a lot of shit to get there. All we did is place 2 bets. But in all seriousness, man, please don't. I get enough viewers now to where I think there could be one dude out there who actually listens to me verbatim, you know what I mean? Like, it scares me a little bit. But nah, it is worth putting a tenner on. You would get 6,500. Like, why not? But yeah, man, Dr. Money in the house, baby. Moicano who? Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Take it easy.